Am I the only public comment?
Yes, sir, evidently.
Okay,
Everybody else will present.
Yeah, thank you. I thought it was a good meeting. If I could have slightly more than 3 minutes as we talk, I would appreciate it, and I'm not trying to talk 90 miles an hour.
Okay. Just make it quick, with everybody's stomach from.
Yeah, me too. The IDA board, this whole thing would function so much better if there were like 2 or maybe 3 grant cycles a year. Then we wouldn't get into all these problems with, especially when it gets extended. And then, you know, people miss these deadlines and people get hired and they miss this and that. And it's so apparent with this Incubator Accelerator. The problems at the Incubator Accelerator out there, especially with the fill line, I'm sure you're aware that there are there's no eggs in the incubator fill line. There's no incubator, there's no tenants out there in that fill line. What I heard today was the only egg that would have been in there for this next year would have been Dottie Connerly's $337,000 application that got pulled last month. There were no other applications. What I heard today was if somebody comes in as a startup that has an idea for a new product and they approach them, you have to have money in your pocket. And then you're gonna pay them for their services, and you're gonna hire a private company. And you're gonna pay them, and they're gonna put that money in their pocket. And it's gonna go in their pocket to pay for their expenses, whatever they determine their expenses are. And I heard the number might have been $400,000, might have been their projected expenses for this coming year. I heard that there might have been quarterly reports that I've never seen. I don't think the public has ever seen quarterly reports from Dayview Development. I don't think that Dayview Development has released reports of what they did in 2015. I don't think we know how much the principals of Dayview Development were paid. Today was the first that I heard that Ms. Giuliani was not taking a salary from Dayview Development. I don't think there's been any financials about what revenue was taken in by any of these contract fills that have been done with this private company. Today was the very first time that I heard that they've entered into a relationship with Mr. Trey to do marketing services for his company on a commission basis. I think he used the number 25% commission. So what I heard on the Incubator Accelerator concept, the model, the original model was brought in, I think it was 3 years ago. I don't even know what the number is now. $4 or $5 million would be the total number put into that project by your board. I think the original concept when they bought that building was to hire an incubator manager, a professional that might have been an MBA qualified person that would be able to incubate people like the paddleboard person, that would be able to help him with marketing and business plans and to help him figure out exactly how to break out his year 3 request, how much money to ask for marketing. You see how he had to change all that around based upon your suggestions. Nobody is helping this man. And now, late in the game, he has no idea what even trade shows and stuff to go to, or how to even approach dealers, and he's going across the building and asking the fill line managers for their help in helping him sell his paddleboards to dealers, and they're going to get on the phone for 25%. And so they've expanded their services as a fill line management company, as a private company sitting inside of a public asset. So it gets back to the theory and the reality of an incubator, accelerator, public project that belongs to you. It's an EDA project. And it gets back to the original concept and how this was structured. And I was in here for most of these meetings, and it was decided it was gonna start with a big manual, a policy manual on exactly what it meant to be a tenant in the incubator, and a process that was gonna be followed to be considered and selected and vetted, and exactly when you're gonna go into the incubator and when you're gonna come out and how you're gonna be managed. That never got done. So what I heard today was that there is no way to get into that incubator. So let's go to the fill line. There's no way. Dottie Connolly was gonna be the egg that went into that incubator for this coming cycle. There's no eggs that are gonna go in there. I know at least one person that talked to them with an idea, and they were told that there's no money. There's no money for you. You would have had to put in an application. You would have had to put an application into the EDA, but you missed that cycle. So unless you come up with cash, and you're gonna be paying a private company, you're not gonna be paying the IDA. You're paying them what they think, and you don't even know how much that is. The IDA doesn't know how much that is. So what I would suggest, if I were gonna be funding the debut development in the current year, is they haven't even talked about a contract yet. Before I would fund them, I would want to see that contract. And Mr. Southwell said, I'm confused. How are you separating between this private and public? You're supposed to be providing these IDA services to these IDA tenants. Well, guess what? There are no tenants. They don't have any. The only tenant out there is Stream to Sea, and as you could tell by her presentation, she doesn't need incubating. She doesn't need any incubating. And as you can tell, she just told you, Chairman, she's not leaving the incubator. That's her fill line.
No, she said she was using the fill line to do her product. She is not out there. She has an office of her own.
She's using that fill line.
And paying to use it.
And
the whole purpose of the fill line was to generate additional revenue
Right.
to fund it.
I agree with
And
that.
that's what she's doing.
What I see is this. She's a successful businesswoman. Her product is gonna take off. She's gonna sell a lot of Stream to Sea. And she's gonna ship it out of her little business, shipping business that she's paying $175 a month for the next 5 years. She's got a contract on that. I saw it. Now, her product is gonna sell so well because Miss Giuliani is probably spending 80% of her time marketing Stream to Sea. That's why she's not taking a salary on debut development. I see the volume of Stream to Sea going out the roof because this lady knows what she's doing. I see this fill line going way over here, and that becoming a Stream to Sea business out there. That's what I see. Now I see the rest of that incubator accelerator building out there. Whatever happens to Trey, I don't see a future for the paddleboard business out there, personally. The rest of that building, you see what they're using that for, temporary storage. They've had several businesses move in there for temporary storage. Now they're putting the Mike Thompson's, the businesses that was in that building, they're moving Mike Thompson's business into. They're moving them over there. So there is no incubators. There's no chicks in the incubator building out there. So, and it's your project.
Okay, thank you for your comments.
Thank you.